Hey everyone, it's Sally here from Strength for Dance. And today we're going to be looking at something called interoception. So quite simply, that big word generally means how well can we feel the inside state of our body. So are you able to check in and feel things like your state of hunger or thirst? Can you feel what's going on within your gut? Are you attuned to your breathing rate, your heartbeat? If you look internally, can you feel if you're tired? From a dancing perspective, and you know how much I love a good body check-in, our internal felt sense is also going to lead us to understanding where our skeleton is. If we have tension in certain areas of muscles, it can also give us an idea of how our posture is as well. If we're feeling tired, or if we're feeling a little bit jacked up and our nervous system is quite fired up and rapid. Now there's quite a nice test that we can do to see how good our natural interoception is. This is called an Arnolds Test, and what we're looking at is our heart rate. So how well can you feel your heart beating within your body? So we're going to start off in a comfortable seated position, and you'll need to set a minute timer. I'm just going to go for probably just roughly a few seconds. We're not going to go for a full minute. But anyway, you'd find a seated position, close your eyes, and just have a sense inside your body. First of all, where is my heart? So it's sitting very slightly to the left of the chest. So just have a sense of where it is. And then see if you can have a sense of your heart beating. Gu-gung, gu-gung, gu-gung. Now you're going to set your timer for a minute, and then you're going to see if you can count your heartbeat. So we'll be sitting here, timer on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just see if you can feel the beat. How many can you count? And then when your timer goes off, you jot that down. So let's say, okay, I think I felt about 55 beats. You're then going to do it with the more traditional way of feeling it, which is through your pulse, your radial pulse. So just using a couple of fingers or your first 3, extend the wrist back, and we're coming just here on the thumb side of the wrist. And we're going to connect the fingers in here till you can feel a beat, and you might need to just shimmy about a little bit. If you've got quite low blood pressure like me, extending the wrist here gives you better contact with your artery there. And then once you've got the beat, you then put your timer on again, and you're going to see how many beats you have in the minute. So let's say, for example, I might have felt 60. I'm just going to wait a minute or two, and then we're going to repeat this one again. Now again, if you're really stuck with here, you can feel it up near your throat as well on your carotid. But just be mindful that you don't palpate things with your thumb. Your thumb has a strong pulse by itself as well, so we want to use the finger pads. So we've done our second minute. You then want to take an average. So you add those two together, have an end sum, and divide it by 2, and that'll give you an average. So then we want to look to get a figure. So let's say, for example, taking it traditionally, my heart rate was 60, the average was 60, whereas when I looked internally, it was 55. I then do 55 divided by 60 is going to give me a figure, and it'll be point something. The point something is then the figure that will give me an idea of how good my internal felt sense is. So, figures of over 0.8 give a really good sign of a good internal felt sense. So that's essentially about 80% and above. And then anything below 0.59 means that you're probably not as well connected as you could be. So, in a nutshell, we're looking at feeling our internal heartbeat, then we're going to take our actual heartbeat twice, take an average of that, and then put it together, and we're going to give ourselves a figure which will be point something. And then it'll give us an idea of, at this current stage in time, how good we are at feeling inside our body. Now, another really nice way that we can practice this is with our standing check-ins. So if you come and stand, feet nice and wide, and just take a moment. Take a nice big breath and then close your eyes again. And check in. How is it that my feet are contacting the floor? Do I have a sense of where my skeleton is? So do I have a sense of where my bones are facing, where my pelvis is facing? And I have a video on this, which is the standing check-in. And we can then also have an internal check to see which of our muscles feel like they might have a little bit of tension on them as well. So getting used to diving inside and actually having a feel of how our bodily systems are going to be really useful for us for not only injury prevention, but also having a feel of how our body is, or a sense of how well our body is as well. So if you're having an internal check-in and you feel a bit like your heart's racing or there's lots of tension in your shoulders, you could probably take that time to do a few deep diaphragmatic breaths and then just feel your system calm. You might do a daily check-in or an internal check-in and notice that there's some bloating or some pain in your abdomen. And that might be the start of your journey to see if there are any intolerances or if there are certain foods you might want to minimize due to reactions within the gut. You might do a check-in and suddenly realize, I'm actually quite tired. So maybe doing 5 hours in the gym today isn't the best idea. So I hope you enjoy this video. Have a go at seeing how good your internal felt sense is today. See you soon.